He is one of the most popular, one of the most celebrated, one of the most exciting heavyweights of the past decade plus. He returns to action in 11 days' time, June 27th in Wichita, Kansas. It's going to be airing on BLK Prime Video, and he'll be going up against Tyrrell Herndon. It's a big comeback fight for the man they call the Bronze Bomber, and that means that the Bomb Squad is in the house. Let us say hello to the one and only Deontay Wilder, who is kind enough to join us. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing great. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it. Very excited to see you back in action. In fact, it's been now officially a little over a year since we last saw you. And so can I ask, what's the difference between this Deontay that we're talking to today and the one that we saw in June of 24 in Riyadh?
I mean, this Deontay right here more at peace, you know? He mentally, physically, and emotionally. You know, a lot of things that I was doing, I did for others. You know, I was selfless. I took care of a lot of people, you know, and you can only do so much for so many people, and at certain times you can do it for a certain length of time where it's really not appreciative. You know what I mean? And but you don't really understand anything until time passes, until situations happen, and you start lingering around, and you start noticing certain things, and you start overstanding things, and then you realize it's time to let certain things go. At this moment in time, I'm selfish. I'm many times in my life I was selfless. This point in time, I'm selfish, and it's all about me at this point. It's all about me. It's all about me having fun and going there and just having a great time, you know. And that's the difference, you know. I feel more free when you do it for yourself. You ain't worried about letting no one down. You ain't worried about making mistakes. You ain't worried about anything, you know. When you do it for self, it's all about you, yourself. And if you do make a mistake, if anything do happen, then it's all on you. You go back and you sit back and you decide whether if you want to continue to do something or not, or you continue to go on, or what makes you happy, what's not. You know, and that's the big difference. You know, it's just like I'm sitting out now and feeling this breeze, and that's how I'm feeling with everything. The overall picture of everything, even with life. You know, it feel like a breeze now. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
What
No
was the
pressure.
turning point? How did you get to this point?
A lot of betrayal. You know what I mean?
So that's
And if you
interesting.
don't know nothing about betrayal, then
I
keep
don't mean to
living.
interrupt you because I saw that in an interview that you did with TMZ. You used that same word. You said, with the betrayal that I have in my heart right now, I am coming. You know, I've got betrayal in my heart. So what do you mean when you talk about that, and how does that translate into being a good fighter?
I'm on an interview right now, baby. I'll be there in a minute, okay? Be there in a minute, okay, mama?
Oh, you got everyone there.
All my daughters.
Yeah. How
Mhm.
many you have?
I have 7 children.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
that's
man.
that's a handful, man. Happy
But
Father's
when they
Day.
say Happy Father's Day, it's a big
Yes.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah,
You know what
that's
I mean?
incredible.
But I enjoy it though. I enjoy it. I love it all. You know, this is who I work for. This is who I live for. You know, and it's no greater feeling than being someone's father. You know, I tell people all the time, especially men, that we are so important. Now, don't get me wrong, the mothers, females, they are very important. 9 years, 9 months or less that they get to carry the baby. But when that baby come out, it's daddy time. And I always consider myself daddy goose. You know what I mean? Because I'm here to shield and protect, to comfort and provide for my children. You know, when I know they with me, they have everything that they need. You know, even over love. They're over love when they with daddy. So,
Respect. Can we go back to that word betrayal?
yeah.
So when you say that you have that in your heart and that's what the turning point is, how does that translate into being a fighter?
I mean, if anyone has, if one have dealt with betrayal, you understand the feeling of it. You understand the pain that comes behind it, especially when you've done stuff for so many people. You done took people to places where they never would have been without you in their lives or present at any given time. And then when they betray you, it's like a dagger in your heart. You know, it's like I tell people it's 10 times worse than a heartbreak, you know. And but for me, it's just been a domino effect, year after year after year. You find it, you know, and it's like an orange. People are squeezing until they feel like all the juice is out of you, and then when all the juice out of you, they'll throw away the hull. But the saying is the saying is for one man trash is another man's treasure. And if you understand anything about oranges and the hulls and different things that you can use to cook, you know that the hull, you don't throw it away because it can become edible. You can still use it, you know, and it's like they threw away the hull, but for me, I collected myself and gathered myself and refreshing myself, you know, and got rid of a lot of the different things. You know, I can't go in too much of details of a lot of things, you know, because it makes me go down memory lane a lot of things. Give me a lot of PTSD or some other things. It got so bad for me that I had to get a sports psychologist,
Oh
and
wow.
but it really helped me out in many ways. Uh, allowed me to put a lot of things on the shelf. We would describe it, and these things are on the shelf, and the result comes to who I am right now. You know, I'm still here to be able to smile, to be able to talk, be able to have good health, be able to have a great sense of humor, life, and all things around me. And it still didn't take me back. It didn't still take back the fact that I still help out people, but you know, I'm cautious. I'm laid back, even more so than ever now, and more protected than I have ever been. Because when you do certain things for certain people, and you realize that it all went in vain, that it really wasn't worth it in all these time, and they was just trying to hold on to your coattail until a certain point in time, and then it don't go as planned like you see, you know, when everybody benefit from you and you don't benefit zero from them, you know, it's a terrible feeling. You know what I mean? It makes you unfocused. I mean, it makes a lot of things, you know. I'm not here to sit, I'm not here to really just explain everything, but understand that I'm in a different space, a different place in my life. And I'm just free, man. I'm just free. It's a lot of things I could say, but like I've always told my trainers, as we work hard, as we put in over 450 some rounds in, as I've told my manager many times throughout the day, how I feel mentally, physically, emotionally, you know, I can say what I want, but my action is going to be the proof in the pudding. It's going to be that, you know, many times I have said things to try to convince myself in the moment of time that I would be okay. It's gonna be all right. I got all this weeks of training left. I'll be able to get myself a little bit meaner, I'll be able to get myself a little bit fitter. And then when it's time to go out on that grand opening, that grand night of that day of that fight, that I'll be ready to go. But that's just all of me convincing myself at the moment of time. While on the other side, I got a deep, dark presence that's over me that's trying to kill me, bro. It's trying to get rid of me. You know, we all have things going on in life, no matter who you are in life, you know, but once you accept it and understand it, you have to understand it first and then accept it and then apply it to be able to get the help that you need and then so forth and so on. You know, as men, we are the most stubborn of it all because we feel like we don't need certain things. We don't need help. We can figure it out. We shouldn't cry show weakness and all that. But the concept of everything is all wrong. You know, and that's why we mostly, as men, have the most problems in the world than anyone, because we because of our toughness, because of our pride. And I always told myself many times, and to others that knows me around, that my pride would probably be the one that get me killed out of anything. You know, but I'm happy to say that I'm a different person at this moment in time, mentally, physically, emotionally. You know, and I'm ready to go. You know, I'm in a happy place. And yeah, man.
I love that.
It's hard to explain,
I
you
get
know.
it.
It's
I
hard
get
to
it.
explain. It's so much I could say, but I only go say what my heart is want me to lead to. And if you understand, then you understand. I always buy by the saying, what's understood don't have to be explained.
That's why I've always enjoyed watching and listening to your interviews because you're not afraid to speak from the heart, and so we appreciate
Right.
this very much. You mentioned the sports psychologist. Was this the first time that you've worked with one, and how long ago did that start?
Yeah. This has been the first time. This is the first time that I had to deal with a sports psychologist, and I've been with him like over a year now. Dr. Kurt Jones, one of the best in the world. And yeah, we've been going. It's like my father, man. He's like all my brother, my father, like everything in one. My protector. You know what I'm saying? He's just, it's been incredible being with him, working with him, getting my mind right because we just, in life we don't understand who's going through what's going through what. Mental health is a huge issue. It's a big deal. And a lot of people are coming up about different things and stuff. And over the years it have been. And I'm glad that this is a top subject now in the world because we all deal with a lot of shit. You know what I mean? Even from birth, just growing up in certain situations, certain times in life, seeing certain things, man, that should get you PTSD for sure. And then when you get in the environment of certain type of sort, no matter how successful you have been in life, when you go back and you see certain things, that shit go back down memory lane, bro. And if you ain't settled with the situation or you ain't handled the problem, it's gonna bloom back up. It's gonna loom back up, and it's gonna be active in your life current today, because in the past it was active, but you didn't handle it. So it's like I ain't going nowhere, motherfucker. I'm still here.
Mm.
So when you do get into a situation or a place or an environment that reminds you of a certain thing, it become active again. And with Dr. Jones, we've done many things. He taught me many things, and I've understand a lot of things that that was dealing what I was dealing with, especially with the betrayal and stuff like that. Just mentally getting myself back together because I really lost confidence in myself, and that was kind of hard for me to even say, like, damn, I lost, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm the most confident person I know in the world, and when things start happening to you and you start losing focus, in life, then you can't handle it. You can't do things on your job. They always say don't carry your problems out, don't carry your problems outside into your workplace. But when it's depending on certain things, or yeah, when it's certain things, sometimes you just can't help it. Even though you try to avoid it, you try to block it out. You don't want to bring it to the place of work. Sometimes you just can't help it. It's just there in your head, and most time it be a situation where you're like, I can't fucking believe this happening to me. Out of all I've done. all I've done for people, it's never enough. And you get a lot of people that's successful that understand this structure, or go down the same tunnel that I'm explaining right now, and most time it's always the ones that close to you. And the ones that close to you most time consider your family or people that you call family, and that be the ones that hurt you the most, because outside strangers can't do that because they're not close enough. So it just bounce off one wall to another. And everyone knows that when it comes to me, that I don't. I'm a homebody. I don't really go too many places. I sit around. I build on my compound, and I've been building for over 6 years. And this is what I built. I built everything here, so I won't have to go nowhere. I like to be out at times, but at times I just like to be alone with my children, enjoying them, teaching them, loving on them, providing for them, and educating them. That's the best part of my life, being able to have so many. I have 7 children, but I'm looking to have 7 more.
Wow.
If it was up to me, I have 50. You know what I mean? I love being a father. I love being able to educate, and the things that I went through in life, I explain to them. And as they get older, I explain even more. And every age they get, I explain even more what they didn't understand before. I'm like, well, when you turn this, I'll explain it a little bit more so that you get it. We all want our children to be able to go through life with understanding of all things. And sometimes you're gonna miss some things along the way, but that's okay. Because I tell my kids, I prepare you, I give you the tools to succeed in life. And along your journey, you're gonna be able to pick up some more tools to put in your backpack. But long you know the fundamentals of what you need to learn and the things that I've passed down to you, you're gonna be all right. You're gonna make it because they have so much to look forward to. So many things I've done for them with life trust and being able to build for them. They will inherit things. They will have a huge head start in life, one that I've never could imagine in my life, but they will. And that's the beauty of it all, man. Being able to see a situation, a dark situation, and then turn and put light on it and make it positive. And this is where I am. I'm still human at the end of the day. I'm not the one to complain about too much. I just handle what I have to do and get back out there. I try to be open and honest as possible with society or the way of the world or human beings, whatever one of our people, whoever, whatever, however you want to label them. A lot of people will look at you, look at your situation. The many things that I've said, I tell people I haven't lied about nothing that I've said. Anything that I've said has been my truth. And if it's my truth, then they said the truth shall set you free. So that means I sleep good every fucking night because I've let my truth. Now, many times people will take my truth and they'll dissect it and they say, "Oh, that's an excuse." Well, if my truth is your excuse, then that's up on you because I've told you the truth. Now you can take it and you can dissect it and you can display it any type of way that you want. You can chop it up and you can come out and make whatever you want. But I've told you my truth, and you want to make it your excuse, then it's so be it. Be happy with it. I'm all about happiness in life, and whatever they're going through, and they have to dissect one something that one have said, and to make it in some type of sense of humor or make laughter out of it to be able to go about their day, then so be. For me, I revealed the truth, and like I said, the truth will set you free. So here I am, once again, getting myself back together, and it's not a comeback. It's the return of the king, man. It's not a comeback. It's the return, mentally, physically, emotionally. I just feel like a different person at this moment in time because of the burden that I had to cut loose. God sent me a message. He said, "I can't let you continue. You can't rise. You can't prevail in this life when you got so many evil entities around you. You have to cut the burdens. It's just like a hot air balloon having weight on it. No matter how much you try to ignite it with the fire, it ain't going up. And you don't understand. Like I've been down this road 50 times, man. Why I can't go no more? And you can't see that you got fucking heavy baggage around you. You can't understand it right now. You still trying to, and this motherfucker ain't going nowhere until you realize that the people that's around, the baggage that you're holding, the burden that need to be cut is still lingering around. And once you start cutting shit, that's when you start floating up, you start elevating, you start rising. Because God said, you let these people ride with you for so long. They'd have benefited off you, your fruits of your labor. You risk your life for others' entertainment. But everybody want what you have, but don't want to put the same amount of equal work that you have provided and put into. They just want to benefit from you. And that's no more, you know what I mean? There's no more. But, these times that took this for me, I would have never seen a lot of things, still elevating in life, still doing, certain things. I would have never seen certain things. So I'm glad God had to show lessons, because in lessons come blessings. But only if you apply knowledge to life to become wise, you'll understand that true meaning of that blessing that have came through this lesson. And here I am now.
If we would have talked, Deontay, on June 2nd of last year, so the day after the Zhang fight, would you have believed that you'd still be fighting? Did you think that you would continue? Because everyone was sort of writing your career sort of obituary, for lack of a better word. But did you think like, nah, I'll be back. I just need a bit of time to figure this all out. What were you thinking back then?
Yeah. I mean, I've never thought about giving up. You know what I mean? I never thought about quitting. I never thought about retiring. You know, these is all rumors and stuff. And these are things I be saying. People don't know nothing. You know, most people want to be first and then being correct. You know, we are living in a world today where, you know, you want to put everything out on social media to get clicks and likes to make some money. And whatever that means, whether I have to, you know, whether I don't know the full story, I just know a little bit. I'm gonna make the rest of it as I go. You know, hopefully I can get a good story out. You know, because I'm one of those guys that I'm not accessible. You know, I don't make myself accessible. I like being at peace. I'm a peaceful man. You know, I'm not. People don't really see me out in the world like that. You know what I mean? And you know, everybody have their own thing that they like to do. They like to go. They like to be around certain people. I don't really like to go a lot of places. I don't really like to be around a lot of people. I know the right people in this world that I need to know, and I go to, you know, and I travel where I need to. You know what I mean? And that's all I need in this world. I don't need 100 friends. I don't need to be able to have to travel 50 different places. I don't need much. You know what I mean? As you just seen my babies, as they come out as soldiers, one by one, to say daddy. That's a sweet thing to say, hey, daddy, daddy, and want to talk. But you know, right now they have to wait because I'm handling something. But just to see those faces, man, you know what I mean? It make you get up every day. Like, all right, what's next? It's almost being like a service dog, being ready to work every time you get up. What's next? You know, I'm like that with my children. You know what I mean? I love providing, I love educating, I love teaching. You know, and when they come and say those sweet words come off their lips, daddy, it's like I'm ready to go. I'm ready for service, man.
Deontay, when you said a few years back that, you know, I remember when you said this, and I actually on my show, I'd never met you before, but I was sort of defending you because I remember when you said that you wanted to catch a body, when you wanted a body on your resume. And I was like, everyone came after you for saying that. You shouldn't say that if you're a boxer. This is not the right thing to say. And I understood where you were coming from. You know, this is the same thing we say, I want to go out there and knock out my opponent, I want to kill my opponent. I didn't take it literally, but a lot of people did. And I'm only asking that because I'm wondering, does that same guy exist? Do you want that guy to exist anymore, or are you a different fighter than the one who said that?
Look. Nothing that I say that I don't regret saying. I don't take it back. People got to understand the structure of the business that I'm in. This is not, this is not no sport that we play. You can't put play on boxing because it's not a sport. Now, to say boxing is a sport is a masking agent to cover up what the real thing. This is a fucking gladiator sport. You got to have an order of a line. This is 1%. That's why you don't see many people in this business because they won't do it. They're scared to do it. That's why you had to take your hat off for every fighter that step inside that ring, over those ropes or under those ropes, because they're the 1% that'll get in there, that'll do it. Many people on the outside can talk. They can say many things or whatever they want. But if I say something and you don't agree with it, if I say I want to kill him and all that, then you just as guilty as me because your ass paying to see it happen. Yeah. Because you don't understand what we have to do, what we have to provide mentally, physically, emotionally. And as you see all my beautiful children that come out, but at certain points of the time, I have to get in the ring. I have to fight. I don't know if I'm going to get out of this motherfucker when I step in it. That's facts. Over 13 fighter dies a year. And it's probably up more than that that's just only being reported. How many other athlete dies in their sport? Because in boxing, we don't play shit. We ain't practicing for nothing. We're training. We're training to kill. And you got to understand the concept. When others on the outside looking in and they look at boxing, they got to understand the structure of what this is. So when a man say, I want to do this, I want to do that, then that's just how he feels. That's how he get his warrior mentality spirit to pump himself up to get in that fight that night, knowing that he can lose his life fighting for what he believes in. And I tell people all the time, I'll die for what I believe in. So if you can't handle the heat, you can't handle what I say, and you can't dissect it to make some type of sense in your own world, then you know, go on with yourself. Keep it moving. Don't question what I say. Continue to watch what I say. And hopefully what I say don't happen. But at the end of the day, we signed up for this shit. And he trying to do what I'm trying to do to him. I'm just the one that being open and willing to speak my piece to you. Then the other person that willing to sit up and be politically correct. I'm not a politically correct type of person. And when I die in this world, people will always remember that man right there said what was from his heart. He didn't give a fuck. He told the truth. He told you how he felt. He told you the realness of it. And I wish other people would be real with themselves and be real with the things that go around. And I ain't got time to be politically correct with people to piece things up to make it seem like it's safe or it's gonna be, oh, we just gonna have a good time and no, I hope no one get hurt. Man, fuck that shit. This is what we in here for, to hurt you. This is the difference between other sports. This is not a sport. We can't say we play nothing. We don't play no football. We don't play basketball. We don't play baseball. We don't play soccer. We don't play tennis. Motherfucker, we're practicing we're training. Understand me? And anything you talking about training, the military train to kill. Gladiators train to kill. Any other animal in the animal kingdom, they hunting to train to kill. And this business that we're in, we're training. This ain't no practice because we ain't playing. This is training. Because in this business right here is no play. Me no play, no games. Understand me? And once other people start understanding it, they'll understand it, the concept of where I come from, or what I mean when I say certain things. Not just because, I want to kill a man and shit like that. Other than that, that's easy to do so. If I wanted to kill somebody, I'd just go get my gun and shoot somebody. That's about the easiest thing I can do. But unfortunately, this is a business. This is what we do. We train. That's why you ain't having your average mother or father trying to get their son or their daughter to participate in this business that we call boxing, is it? They ready for them to go play basketball or go be a doctor or get your education where you can be a business person or get your education where you can be a lawyer or some shit like that. People avoid this. People avoid this, man. They avoid trying to be boxers and, parents getting their kids to be there because this right here, you ain't playing, bro. You training. You training to hurt somebody. Now, you can butter it up all you want, but I like to keep it real with people. I don't want them to be around trying to figure out what he's trying to say. Well, he don't need to say that. Well, you need to shut the fuck up if you ain't going and just pay attention and buy the fight or go to the fight and see me do what I say I was gonna do. Because that's all you're doing. You just as guilty. If it's a sin for me to say that, then you're guilty by association. And that's the simplest way I can explain it.
Incredible. Thank you for that. And we'll only keep you for a couple more minutes because I know you have a busy day. Could I just ask?
Sir.
I know you've talked about, you're hoping to fight at least twice this year, maybe 3 times. You have Tyrrell next. You're not looking past him. June 27th, BLK Prime, Wichita, Kansas. Do you already know who the next fight is? Is that already a done deal?
You can say so. I don't want to talk about it. But
Can I ask who it is?
We got things going on. I don't know the opponent yet. It'll be out of the country.
Okay. Oh.
So it'll be one of the guys over there in the country that I'm going to.
Which country?
We had that one, then looking to have one more in December as well. And I got to make sure I'm right. You know what I mean? I got to make sure that how I feel, I got to make sure it's right. You know what I mean? I don't want to coach myself. I don't want to hype myself thinking that it's something that is really not. I've been there, done that. That shit didn't work. But that's the only thing that I had to try to get myself together to understand what the hell is going on. Because you don't knock 42 fools out and come back and things start happening and things start going wrong in a negative way. You don't do it. It don't happen. But man, I'm just glad to be here, bro. I'm just glad to be here to be able to lead by example. The king has returned. Even I go through things in life. I mean, I'm We all go through things. I'm just the one that's not afraid to express myself when I'm going through certain things or to show certain things. You know what I mean? You just never know who you're going to help. You may help a lot of people in the end of when it's all said and done. And this is the greatness that you provide to your legacy, your legacy. You know what I mean? It ain't just about being a great boxing in the ring. To be the greatest of all time, don't consider just a undefeated record or being a great fighter. To be a legend, to be the greatest of all time, consider what you do on the inside as well as what you do and provide on the outside. You know what I mean? And that's why I want to be legendary. And not only what I put in the work in the inside, but also what I do on the outside. The motivation, the inspiration, the education, the knowledge that I've been able to teach and provide and pass on to so many more or so many others that may be going through the same situations, maybe in a different situation, but it's a similar situation. And they may not know how to have gotten out of that. But listening to me, I'm like, damn, I didn't think about that. Oh, wow. Maybe I should be realer with myself and not worry about what others may think or may say about me, because we live in a society where people are always worrying about what people are going to say or what they think about them. But I give a fuck about what others say. And I had to go down with eyes. You know, back in the day, they said, eyes. And that's me, man. I'm just being I have a good sense of humor, man. You know,
I appreciate it.
I like to get to educate and be able to have people to understand certain things and look in on the situation and know that a lot of things happen to a lot of us, the best of us. But that don't mean give up. That don't mean quit. I'm not throwing in my white flag because there's no surrendering. I die for what I believe in. And that's crossed my heart. You understand? That's right there branded inside of me. So no matter how many times I may fail, understand as many times I may fail, it's gonna be the equal times I get my ass up. Because on one of those try, it's gonna come through for me. I'm gonna be successful. And when I look back, I'm like, man, damn, if I would have gave up, I would have never known the strength in this. If I would have gave up, I would have never known how much resilience I have in myself. If I would have gave up, I would never know how to persevere into a hard situation, especially when they're dealing with a worldwide stage, when the whole world is watching. Sometimes when the whole world is watching, a lot of people just don't know how to bounce back because maybe they're too embarrassed. Maybe they worry about what people may think of them or what they may look at them as. But for me, it's not that case. I block all that out because I understand that I am the king of my family. I provide for them. And when I look around, I understand all my good days outweigh my bad. So there ain't no complaints. They all took care of every last one of them. Everything that's around me, I look at my hands, I look at my career and what I've done with my career and what I've done with my hands. I look at the structure, all this compound that I'm on, the things that I've built, things that I've attained, the things that I'm setting back for my children so they can inherit it from me, something that I never would have understood coming up because my father wasn't able to, and his father before him. But I told Pops, I said, I broke the chain, bro. What you need? I got you. I broke the chain, not only for him, but for my family as well, for my seed. So no matter how many I have, it's just going to be a generation of Wilders, a generation of wealth of things going. For me, I own everything that I have. Pay it up on taxes. They need to get rid of that shit though. I'm tired of it. And I'm debt free. Can't too many people say that. I'm living good. I'm living life. But now it's time for me to be selfish in this business that I'm in. I got to enjoy it for myself and not for others no more. No, I got into this business because of my daughter that was born with spina bifida. Mm-hmm. And I promised her that I'll be able to take care of her beyond her belief, you know. And I didn't know where I didn't know no direction of how I would get there because you know, I'm coming from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Most things about football here. little basketball as well. So as a child, you see what you want to become, and I was around that, so I saw that. I saw the glory of it. I saw the hype behind it. You know, the fans and stuff like that. So you only want to be what you see. But God had other plans for me. When He blessed me with a daughter that was born with spina bifida, it made my life even more harder. I wouldn't say harder, but more challenging, I would say. And I like a life with challenge in it, because if not, then it become a boring life, and then you try to figure out as you go, what can I do to be entertained, or what can I do to make myself, have a little fun and stuff. Certain people can't even be in silence for 5 minutes. They have to be around somebody. They have to be at a certain place. It's too quiet. It's too boring. Yeah, maybe you need that in life to understand who you are. Because you can't show love if you don't have love to give. You can't have you can't say you love me if you don't love yourself. You still trying to figure out, but you talking about you love me so much. And then that when the betrayal comes, because they really didn't love themselves. So how can they pour something into you if they don't have, if it's empty inside of them, they don't have nothing to give. But the only thing about that is you learn that valuable lesson when that glass breaks, when that picture that they thought they had something that they can pour into as far as a level of love, but it's dry inside and ain't no more love. And when they pick it up, the motherfucker slip out of their hand and it's break. It's nothing that could be contained in it no more. So how can I give you anything when I can't even ball nothing up no more? My container have broken. So now you really realize the monster that I am, that I've been around you all this time. And I done nibbled off your ass. I was like a parasite. And I only fed off the good times. Because the bad times, well, nobody don't want to go through that. We're going to let you go through that yourself. But the good times, call me, Leroy. I'll be here waiting on you to have a good old time. Don't threaten me with a good time. But I'm gonna let you deal with this pain, this heartache, this sorrow. I'm gonna let you deal with this by yourself. Let you figure it out. And as fighters, when we win with everybody else. But when you lose by yourself. It's a harsh reality. And a lot of people would never understand how a fighter would feel and why we say the things we say, or why we say the things, why we do the things we do. You'll never understand. In which you made some things, some things you can't understand unless you get in it. And there's a lot of people ain't getting in this, But, man, I can go on and on, bro. I'm just in a great place at the moment of time. I'm looking forward to June the 27th.
Can I ask you one last one?
Kansas, and I can't wait.
I'll ask you one last one. What do you want when the music stops? What do you want your legacy to be? How do you want people to remember Deontay Wilder?
I want people to, when the music stops with me, and I don't mean I'm gonna be dead either.
No, I mean the fight music.
Yeah, I understand. When the music stopped for me in the fight business, I want people to understand that he was a great man. He feared nothing. And even in his failures, he came back. He corrected them. He wasn't scared. He didn't surrender. He didn't give up. Many times what we thought he would, or we would expect on our own when our own observance of looking on the outside, looking in, and maybe because you care so much, he should retire. I don't want to see him get hurt. I want them to see that I ain't give up at all. I got up on these bending knees and I got up. And I started back gathering myself and got myself back out there. Each and every time, because I wasn't satisfied with the last performance or the last thing I've done. In my life, I always feel like there's more to do in this world. No matter what I've obtained or what I may have in life, I still feel like there's more to do. And I want people to remember me as that, a great man. Not only a man that just had a statue because of what all he done in the world and stuff, or for his city, or for his state, or for the world, you know what I mean? I wanted to say he was a real warrior, a king of God army, a man that saw life so different than others. That's why I want them to remember me as, not just being a great father, but what I put in the inside and the outside of this world. what I fed to people as far as inspiring and motivating and encouraging. And no matter how hard life may get for you, it's never too late. You can continue to go. You can continue to be great. I tell people all the time, we all have greatness in us we all have greatness in us for service is only we all have greatness in us, but greatness is only determined by service. And for me to say that, I must apply that to my life as well. I can't say one thing and then do another. Then I would be considered a hypocrite. But I only must apply what I say to myself and to life. I must lead by example. And that's what I'm doing, you know. So when that music stops, man, I hope it's beautiful music while it's playing. And then when it stops, it still lingers and rings in people's ears. And when they hear it ends, they be like, I want to hear it again. But this time they won't be seeing that. They won't be seeing dances. They'll just be seeing the melodies floating in the air and be like, man, that was a great man. That was a great king. What a great leader. And I get a standing ovation every time they hear that music playing. Although they can't see it no more of me doing my action of my dance, but they can imagine it while hearing that music play, baby.
Much respect, Deontay. Thank you. And I feel like I could run through a wall right now. Wishing you the best. June 27th in Wichita. It's great to have you back, and I'm happy to hear that you're in a great spot. Again, happy Father's Day, and good luck to you. We'll be watching and looking forward to it very much.
My man, blessings. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day.
Same to you. Later. Thank you so much. There he is. The one and only, the inimitable Deontay Wilder. We've had a lot of classic interviews on this program. I remember there was one with Henry Gracie back in the day where I think he gave us like a 13-minute answer or something like that. There's obviously been some Nate Diaz interviews. That one is up there where you just kind of have to let someone, as the kids like to say, cook. You just have to let them go. And Deontay is one of the most interesting characters in the history of combat sports, not just boxing. A fascinating individual who, by the way, is 39 years young, 43, 4-1, 42 of his 43 wins via knockout, 2008 Olympic bronze medalist, hence bronze bomber, 2007 U.S. national and Golden Gloves champion, has been fighting as a pro since 2008, former WBC champion. And what's interesting about the current state of his career, the average age, so he's 39, turning 40 in October. The average age of the ring top 10 heavyweights is 33. The youngest in the top 10 is Daniel Dubois, 27. The oldest is Zhilei Zhang, number 8, 42. Dubois, number 2, returning July 19th against Alexander Usyk. Speaking of Usyk, he's 38. Fury's 36. 10 of the top 11 are in their 30s. 4 are over 35. I say this to perhaps say he's not, if you look at the rest of the top 10, top 11, he's not exactly over the hill past his prime. Now, obviously, you have to win. Obviously, you have to perform. His last win was a first-round knockout of Robert Helenius in October of 2022. He's lost 2 fights in a row against 2 of the better fighters in the heavyweight division, Joseph Parker, December of 23, and then, of course, Zhilei Zhang, June of 24. And we all thought if he would have won that fight over Zhang, he could have gotten the AJ fight. That didn't come to fruition. And there's a story. I was going to ask him about that, but we sort of ran out of time there. There's been a constant theme in boxing recently where it's like, hey, if you win this one, you got the big one coming up. And it sounds like he's got something coming up. But don't look past Tyrrell Herndon. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up, leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.